Okay, so this is the brand new unit that has the emergency brake cables intact. The ones that I have on my car must have snapped and caused some other damage to the emergency brake housing system, housing unit. So what I'm going to do right now is take out the old one, and I'm going to show you where that one is, and we're going to put in a new one, run the cables in the right direction, reinstall the emergency brake on the driver's side, and then I have to wait for some parts for the passenger side. So this is what we're doing, and as you can see on the bottom of it, it has 1, 2, 3 10mm bolts. I'm also going to take out these 2 bolts that are you'll see up there in the car, which are 40 star bolts, and then we're going to disconnect the unit, of course, right here. The pin's going to unclip that, pull that all out, run it all back up, and get this party running. And this is how you do the electronic brake system. So let's get up under here and give you guys a good view of what. All right, so here it is up under. We're up under the Rolls-Royce. Alright, cool. That'll be next. We'll figure out where that oil comes from, and attack that later. But for now, we're gonna get this right here taken care of. So here is the box that I'm gonna change out, and all we need to do really is just unscrew those bolts. I'm gonna unscrew the right here is where I was telling you that they're those are the 40 T star. I'm gonna undo that. See the cables going that way. Gonna pull that out of the trunk, and then just run the ones back over to the wheel rotor in the back, and we're gonna put that back in, and then we're gonna run that wire back, that cable back over to that side, and it's supposed to be pretty simple. So let's see how it works. So we're under here right now. We just removed this little plate here with the 240, and now I'm just going to drop this box. But before I drop the box, there's one more cable that's going into the trunk, and I know I gotta pull that down and out somehow. So let's go see how to do that. There's a cable right. Okay. So there's a cable up there that I gotta get out, which is that one right there. So I'm gonna go into the trunk. That's coming from the box. Going into the trunk is the emergency release for the emergency brake. In case your emergency brake just seizes up, it gives you an option to be able to undo that another way. So yeah, let's get that taken care of. Let's go see if we can drop that down, and then we'll be able to pull this out. Open the trunk, and in the trunk you have to take off these 2 screws. I only have 1 screw on. There's one on the other side here as well. I should find it. I know these are the same one that the BMW uses. Just sit it right there. But there's also a screw here. Once you do that, you can actually lift up, and you can see the battery and just some other things that are back here with the ropes. And so what we're looking for is this piece right here. I'm looking for that piece right there, and we are going to just squeeze that, and it should allow us to pull that down. So I'm going to get my pliers and do that, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to let me do it with my hand. Feel like it. Oh, there we go. Bam. Got that side. Oh, cool. All right, so now that's out. Let's switch it out. Bring in a new one. Okay, so here's the box. I was able to pull down 1 cable from the passenger side, and on the passenger side, cable side, here is the connector. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect the connector. I see. All right, so here's the old one and the new one. I pulled it out, the old and the new. Again, it says BMW, so when I when I ordered this one, that's what I was looking for, the BMW 760 model. But this one also said Rolls-Royce, so we were cool with that one as well. Rolls-Royce Ghost. But I also started to look at it. I was like, okay, so here's my cable here. The cable is, you know, damaged. Obviously, the new cable isn't damaged. It's good to go. But could you just replace this cable without having to replace the whole box? So I unscrewed this right here. This was actually in there like that, right? And I unscrewed it and I pulled it out. And it does really look like you could actually buy, maybe you could buy the part for this, just this one side, and replace that and keep the box, because the box works fine. So I may repair this and sell it as used, but I'm gonna go ahead and install a new one on mine. Okay, you guys, so we're getting ready to reinstall the electronic brake system. I had to make sure on this side that everything was good to go. So what I do have here is I got this little metal little tin connector frame, has a little hole here, and this hole is how you lock in these little, I have a little it's a spring, and then it's like this little hex with the nail, and then this little thing at the end. And what happens is you put this in the spring, and the spring sits in there really flush with the head of that. And then what happens is this goes through the brake shoe in this little hole here, and you twist it and it locks it in, and that's what holds the brake shoe in place. So I'm gonna give you guys a little close up of what's going on here. So what's happening is, flip it around. So we have the little hole there, and this piece here will go into that hole and twist and lock in like so. So let's see what happens. Again, the brake shoe will be here at that point in time, and you're just going to, it's gonna go in, twist, and the pressure from the spring in the brake shoe holds the brake shoe in place right there. And that's kind of how that sits in there. So you wanna make sure those holes are good. You have one at the top, and you also have one at the bottom. Everything else looks good. I've already ran the cable back through the hole and attached my little 5mm screw with a little bracket to hold that in place. And let's see how difficult this is, or easy it is, to put this electronic brake on. Never done it before. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is take my little cable connector that came in my little pack. There's a top and a bottom. The part that has this part here is the top, and this part here is the bottom. And what happens is you can open this up. Let's see if I can open it up. Don't want to open it for me right now. I guess I'm gonna switch it over, and I'm gonna do one hand. Yeah, let me switch it over. Yeah. On my little stand here, and then it's standing. All right, so I have this piece here, and this right here kind of opens up, but because I probably did something I wasn't supposed to do, but kind of push that open it up, and this right here is the hook. So your cable hooks onto that and gets closed in there, and that kind of locks it in. So we're gonna show you what that looks like. So this is the top, again, the top part. The bottom part, I'm gonna put the cable in here. It's gonna get closed in and kind of secured in there. So, all right, getting ready to put the electronic brake back on. I already kind of pre-built the brake pad, the brake shoes to go onto the rotor. So I went ahead and put my little, I bottom out my adjuster to where it's the shortest mount on this little adjuster here. Put that in, then I use my long spring. So you have two springs. Make sure you are aware that you have two springs. This is for the other side. You have a long spring and you have a short spring with this whole little thing here. And the way this one was, and I'll show you on the clip, was that the long one was near this one and the short one was on the other side near that little contraption. So make sure you do that. So the long spring goes closer by your adjuster, and then we're just gonna go ahead and put this on and try to build this up this way. So here we go. I have to put my little camera here and put on my gloves. So once you get that on, you're just going to kind kind of manipulate this around your little your rotor here, your
housing. Make sure you don't, make that little stuff come off. And once you do that, you're gonna sit it up here like so. So I kind of have it sitting where it's supposed to be sitting once I put these little spring clips on. So you can see that kind of got it sitting right on top of that metal lip, which is missing on the other side. That's why I gotta order the whole wheel hub, honestly, you guys. I'm gonna do that installation too. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure I get my little springs adjusted in here, and you're gonna see me do that right now. I'm using a 4 hex wrench, and I'm just gonna make sure I line this up.
I did it one time, see if I can do it again. I'm gonna line this up so that way I can kind of see the hole a little bit. I think I can see it right there. And then I'm gonna take my spring and the little screw you're gonna put it in that hole flat, and then you're gonna twist the half twist, and it's gonna lock the top brake shoe in place. So again, you just go in nice and easy, kind of feel around. Once you get it in there, twist up, and now that top brake shoe is locked in there. I can give you a little close up of that. So again, you got your little hex bolt here, and you put it in, twist that way, and it's gonna lock. And if I twist it again, it'll unlock because you only twist it halfway to get that seated. So it's seated in there. And we're gonna go ahead and do the bottom one too. Once we get the hardware over here on. So let's get that hardware on. Here we go. We got our little handy dandy clipper thing. We got a little claw here. All the claw is going to do is going to hook onto the cable here. You're going to hook that onto the cable like so. Lock it in there like that. And then just go ahead on and kind of hard holding it in the camera. But hook that onto the cable. And you won't have as much trouble because you won't be filming. And just go ahead and let that kind of fall and let it rotate into the body. And once that rotates into the body, that kind of locks in that cable in that position. And then you have this hook right here, this top hook here that you want to put on the top of your brake shoe here. So you're gonna find that little groove there and slide that on down in there and hook that onto the top of the brake shoe like so. There's like a little notch in there. There's a little notch in here that it kind of falls into. So once you get that cable in there like that, and you got that hooked onto the top, then you can just go ahead and pull down the bottom brake shoe. So I'm gonna show you. I pretty much just pull the bottom. You see that? I pull the bottom brake shoe down, and then there's another little groove that I'm gonna lock and make sure this right here locks into. So now, as you can see, I kind of got the top one hooked into that top groove there. Got my pin here locking the top one. I got my cable hooked up behind this here into that one. So the cable is hooked because once that cable pull, it's going to probably see even better. So we're good there. And now only thing I need to do is put in that little hole right there. Where is it at? It's up under there somewhere. And I'm gonna use my little spring, my pin and my spring again. Put that in that hole like that. That's where it goes. Gloves on because I don't want to mess up my hands. You know what I'm saying? I like working on cars, but I don't need to have, you know what I'm saying, them mechanic hands. I play with too much money for that. All right, let's put in here.
Chasing the bag, oh, I left the house broke, came back with a bag though. My shorty a 10, she only eat fruit, taste like a mango. She mad though, she can't go, biting these bad though. We lurking the dog with no camo, these pills make that pain go. Hot like a flame, oh, not talking about homo. Don't F with me, air ho, what your angle? I do it for the money, not talking about fame, bro. And we got the same goal, we filling the bank up with singles. It is what it is, how the saying go. I'm earning my stripes like the Bengals. The leader, the taker, she walking on Kangles. In love with my wife, got tattooed on my ankle. My chain be dancing like they do the tango. They say I'm the ticket, can't buy on Fandango. Got run up from you and lay over there. Go. I hop in the coupe and somebody say let's go. When God is my witness, I got too much ammo. I live in a sequel, we chasing these bags. Chasing the bag, oh, I left the house broke, came back with a bag though. My shorty a 10, she only eat fruit, tastes like a mango. She mad though, can't go. We fighting these bad dogs, we lurking the dog with no camo. These pills make that pain go. chasing the bag, oh. I left the house broke, came back with a bag, though. My shorty a 10, she only eat fruit. Tastes like a mango, she mad though, she can't go. Got my money in crypto, get paper like an old soul. Spend a lot different D's when I add a couple zeros. Don't win in 11, we still cold. And we got the same goals on the main star, the lead road. Put the wood in the car like a mallet. Here's 100 niggas, say you brought to fix a recto. In the hood with the limo, no niggas on parole. Say you a murder, but juice is a no-show. Hold the K, I don't hit on my sit on this toll road. Oh, we gotta go, baby. Oh, we gotta go, baby. They say it's the Glock, I'm the #1 pick. And I'm stretching them out when I'm hitting that lick. If I'm taking it out, won't miss. Before 6 feet, you be like in that ditch. I ain't got time to ride no nigga wave. I won't do shows if I can't get paid. 5 on my wrist with a fade like blade. 10 on the chain, ice lemonade. This path you own, you can't be saved. Bury my bags, put me in the grave. Say in the air, Mac, not like a slave. Chase some bags, some niggas get played. My shorty a 10.
Everything is.
My shorty a 10. My shorty a 10. Yeah.
The rotor on, you should have a little bit of like grind, but not too much.
Yeah.
So should be
Chasing the bag, oh, I left the house broke, came back with a bag,
that
though.
might be a
Chasing
little.
the bag, oh, I left the house broke, came back with a bag, though.
So I put the rotor on, and so I'm gonna open this up a little bit. So the way you do that, you get your flathead screwdriver here, and on your little device here, and you're just gonna try to open it up a little bit. I think you this way, yeah. You spin it that way. That kind of opens it up a little bit, and you can kind of see it. You can kind of see this right here is the, and you see how that kind of opens up a little bit.
Triple R. Let's get it. Yuka. TNE 75 South. They know I'm on. They know my song. Michael, I'm bad, but that ain't wrong. They know I'm on. Don't play on the phone. My range is too long, but that ain't wrong. They know I'm on. They know my song. Michael, I'm bad, but that ain't wrong. They know I'm on. Don't play on the phone. My range is too long, but that ain't wrong. Shadows remind me of fake friends, only around during the bright time. Can't trust really, no snakes, quick to disappear in the dark time. Let's run it up like double time, hitting chords on this baseline. Blue smoke, call Coach K, that's Walmart, no layaway. I let them think I was broke, till they seen the cars in my driveway. Made a lot of bad investments, bought some gold chains. A fiscal karma, S550, a white range. I was 22 when the same number as Danny Ainge. If you hang with snakes, then you a snake, you an animal. Like company can't finesse me, I own my solar panels. Young black CEO curbing the market, squeezing bananas. She running up action, can't take a pic with her camera. I apologize, she brushed up against that heat in the hammer. She said it's alright, understand her name was Amanda. Let me guess you from the south, maybe even Atlanta. The way you carry yourself, the way you holding that banner.
That's what we're going on right now. Screw into that to lock it in. Here's the brake caliper brace, and we have our big bolts that go in the back. I kind of put them in my brace so I don't have to really search for them when it's time. We're gonna go ahead and put these bad boys in.
Wrong. They know I'm on. Don't play on the phone. My range is too long, but that ain't wrong. They know I'm on. They know my song. Michael, I'm bad, but that ain't wrong. They know I'm on. Don't play on the phone. My range is too long, but that ain't wrong. Woo! Woo! Yeah, you can. They know I'm on. They know my song. Michael, I'm bad, but that ain't wrong. They know I'm on. Don't play on the phone. My range is too long, but that ain't wrong.
So we got our bolts seated right there on that one for that brace, and also one down right there. There you go, for the other brace. We got that one, and we got that one for the brace. The brace looks like, comes around here. It sees here. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna lock that in nice, and I'm gonna go ahead and lock that in with the I think that one used a, maybe it was I got that used, but that one used what it was. Then we're gonna put our brake caliper back on, which is sitting right there. Want to make sure I didn't put a lot of pressure on that brake line. I normally sit my brake caliper right here on this little frame bar. It's a good place to sit it. Won't hurt anything. And we're gonna get ready to slap this puppy right together. Yeah. All right, so now that our brace is on, tightly secured, I used a 18 millimeter, I think it was 18 millimeter and a breaker bar. I did about 504 to 520 pounds per square inch on those bolts, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in my on my bracket, get ready to put in my caliper. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide these in the hole and get that caliper seated in there, and get the brake pads seated back on there, and we're gonna keep this party rolling. Yeah. So again, my caliper's right here. I didn't take off my brake pad from the back, but I did squish it back in so that way I wouldn't have any trouble getting that back on. There's some clamps and braces that I think I gotta put on first. Let me go ahead and get those. So here's my other brake pad, the front one, which is really in good shape. Didn't need to change that out. Then I got this locking in clamp that's gonna go on the front of it. Remember, I'm taking that off. And also got this right here that I'm gonna go ahead and put in. So let's go ahead and get that puppy back on. And all you do with this one here, you just pretty much kind of seat it on there like that. Put that caliper back on. That caliper back on. It really just slides in there. It's so simple, like a BMW brake caliper. So go ahead and put that back in the back of the hole. This one has a star, I know, a hex. So I'm gonna pull my hex out and get back in there.
Like a mango, she mad though, she can't go. Fighting these bad dogs, we lurking the dog with no camo. These pills make that pain go hot like a flame. Not talking about homo, don't F with me, air ho. But your angle, I do it for the money, not talking about fame, bro. And we got the same goal, we filling up bank up with singles.
Go ahead and get those tightened in. Put my little brace back on the front here. And close this puppy up, put that wheel back on. And get started and wait for the other side.
Hey, let's go. When God is my witness, I got too much ammo. I live in a sequel, we chasing these bags. Chasing the bag, oh, I left the house broke, came back with a bag though. My shorty a 10, she only eat fruit, tastes like a mango. She mad though, can't go. We fighting these bad dogs, we lurking in the dark with no camo. These pills make that pain go. Chasing the bag, oh, I left the house broke, came back with a bag though. My shorty a 10, she only eat fruit, tastes like a mango. She mad though, she can't go. Got my money in crypto, get paper like an old soul. Spend a lot different D when I add a couple zeros.
Stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment if there's anything. I'll be sure to get back with you.